Good morning. Welcome to the Millionaire Book Club. My name is Pearlie Hunter. Side effects of tapping in with me every single morning do include personal development, mindset transformations, paradigm shifts, and the ability to think your way to success. So I'm super blessed today. Super grateful that you are here. Drop me something that you're grateful for in the chat. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for this day. I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful for my children. I'm grateful for my spouse. I'm grateful for my parents. I'm grateful for another day to serve in my purpose. I'm grateful for love. I'm grateful for light. I'm grateful for joy. I'm grateful for peace of mind. I'm grateful for happiness. I'm grateful for my awareness. I'm grateful for my constantly developing mindset. I'm grateful for the ability to choose exactly the energy that I want to give. I'm grateful to be a co-creator with the source. I'm just super grateful today for everything and everyone, every experience. So drop me something that you're grateful for. I'll go ahead and get the daily word read. I hope y'all feeling amazing today. Oh, I love the word for today. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get the word read. The daily word for today, July 7th, 2021, is brilliance. Brilliance. I am a radiant channel of divine light. Jesus encouraged his followers' spiritual growth when he told them they would do ever greater works than he had done. The Bible says we are made in the image and likeness of God. Knowing this, who are we not to shine? We are divine. An incredible beauty emerges when people follow their hearts to do what they love. The closer all people come to expressing their highest potential, the more they radiate a brilliance that encourages everyone else to shine too. I am inspired by this knowledge. As I allow divine energy to surge through me, I become a radiant conduit of divine light. Ablaze with creative potential, I take one step at a time toward my best, brilliant life. No one, after lighting a lamp, puts it under the bushel basket, but on the lampstand, and it gives light to all in the house. Matthew 5:15. Okay, brilliance. Ooh, I love that. And it made me think of the song I was just listening to this morning. The gift God gave to you, give it back to him, right? When you are operating in your greatness, operating in your light, when you standing in your light, when you shining, when you becoming the highest and best version of yourself, you are helping so many other people, right? You are leading life as a positive example, right? So other people can see, if she can do it, I can do it, right? If she regular just like me, right? We're not comparing ourselves to God. We comparing ourselves to just the next human, just like us, right? If they can do it, we can do it. Okay. Good morning, Quincy. Welcome, King. Barb said, I'm grateful for another day. I'm grateful for God. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for the wisdom and knowledge that I am learning how to use how to speak my words. And I am so grateful. I'm so grateful too that you're taking value from getting up doing these reads with us every single morning. I'm grateful that we are learning so much so fast. Like I literally like we having a crash course in spiritual development or like mental development because we taking in so much information and it's awesome. Because I know for a fact if I didn't have the book club, I keep telling y'all, who knows how many books I would be on. We on book number 9. Book number 9. That's amazing. All right. Let's see. So we have a don't take anything personally. Embrace your freedom. Don't take anything personally. Embrace your freedom. Some beautiful little birds right there. You gain a huge amount of freedom when you take nothing personally. No spell can affect you, regardless of how strong it may be. And if you live without fear, if you love, you will be happy with your life. Okay? Live without fear, spread love, spread light. Okay? This is the second one. Another, don't take anything personally. Love and respect yourself. Okay. Love and respect yourself. You are never responsible for the actions of others, but you are responsible for you. If someone is not treating you with love and respect, it is a gift if they walk away from you. You may hurt for a while, but your heart will eventually heal. Okay? I like this one. You are never responsible for the actions of others. Barb, how is this doing? Because I keep seeing it's going in and out. Is it real choppy for you? Let me see something. Let me know if it's super choppy on the Instagram side, because I want to make sure that it's not going in and out and that you can hear me. But yeah, those are our cards, y'all. I pulled from the Four Agreements deck by Don Miguel Ruiz, the 5th book that we read in the book club. All right. All right. We can get our read started. We are starting chapter 4 today. I'm so grateful. Chapter 4. And it starts on page 65, and chapter 4 is intention. Okay, intention. We wrapped up the second part of chapter 3 yesterday. It was really, really, really good. All about fears, all about diving deep into our fears and getting to the root of our fears, not just the branches, not just the symptoms, but actually the roots of our fears. Okay. So I love that chapter. It's some try this that is there that we can go back and do, right? Because we want to apply this knowledge, right? Not just read it for leisure. We're not reading for leisure, right? We're reading for growth. We're reading for mental awareness. We're reading for new ideas to think from. Okay. So if I say something that resonates with you, drop an MOC in the chat. MOC means moment of clarity. It's my way to connect with you guys, to know that you're taking value from this, to know that you are having those light bulb moments, and essentially you are growing, right? You are learning new ideas to think from, becoming aware of new ways to just help you get along better, right? To help you move better in this world that they don't really teach us how to really move out here, right? We know all the stuff that we need to do, but how do we just be, right? How do we just be happy? How do we just be secure? How do we just be whole, be a light? Right? So that's what we learn here. So MOC, moment of clarity. This is chapter 4, intention. Okay. And it's starting on page 65. Okay. Where there is harmony between the mind and heart and resolution, then nothing is impossible. Rig Veda. In our heads, we have an image of an ideal life. Our relationships, how we spend our time in work and leisure, what we want to achieve. Even without the noise of external influences, certain goals captivate us, and we design our lives around achieving them because we think they will make us happy. Okay? He says certain goals captivate us, and we design our lives around achieving them because we think they will make us happy. But now we will figure out what drives these ambitions, whether they are likely to make us truly happy, and whether happiness is even the right target. I have just come out of a class where we discussed the idea of rebirth, samsara, and now I am strolling through the quiet ashram with a senior monk and a few other students. The ashram has 2 locations, a temple in Mumbai and the one where I am now, a rural outpost near Palgar. This will eventually be developed into the Govardhan Eco Village, a beautiful retreat. But for now, there are just a few simple, nondescript buildings set in uncultivated land. Dry dirt footpaths divide the grasses. Here and there, monks sit on straw mats, reading or studying. The main building is open to the elements, And inside, we can see monks working. As we walk, the senior monk mentions the achievements of some of the monks we pass. He points out one who can meditate for 8 hours straight. A few minutes later, he gestures to another. He fasts for 7 days in a row. Further along, he points, do you see the man sitting under that tree? He can recite every verse from the scripture. Impressed, I say, I wish I could do that. The monk pauses and turns to look at me. He asks, do you wish you could do that? Or do you wish you could learn to do that? What do you mean? I know by now that some of my favorite lessons come not in the classroom, but in moments like this. He says, think about your motivations. Do you want to memorize all of the scripture because it's an impressive achievement? Or do you want the experience of having studied it? In the first, all you want is the outcome. In the second, you are curious about what you might learn from the process. This was a new concept for me, and it blew my mind. Desiring an outcome had always seemed reasonable to me. The monk was telling me to question why I wanted to do what was necessary to reach that outcome. The 4 motivations. No matter how disorganized we might be, we all have plans. We have an idea of what we have to accomplish in the day ahead. We probably have a sense of what the year holds or what we hope we'll accomplish. And we all have dreams for the future. Something motivates every one of these notions, from needing to pay the rent to wanting to travel the world. Hindu philosopher BT, I'm just going to say BT because the name is kind of hard to say, okay, describes 4 fundamental motivations. Number 1, fear. The Quran describes this as being driven by sickness, poverty, fear of hell, or fear of death. Number 2 is desire. Seeking personal gratification through success, wealth, and pleasure. Number 3 is duty. Motivated by gratitude, responsibility, and the desire to do the right thing. And number 4 is love, which is compelled by care for others and the urge to help them. These 4 motivations drive everything we do, okay? Fear, desire, duty, and love. These 4 motivations drive everything we do. We make choices, for example, because we're scared of losing our job, wanting to win the admiration of our friends, hoping to fulfill our parents' expectations, or wanting to help others live a better life. I'm going to talk about each motivation individually so we get a sense of how they shape our choices. Okay. So fear, desire, duty, and love. Fear is not sustainable. In the last chapter, we talked about fear, so I'm not going to dwell on it here. When fear motivates you, you pick what you want to achieve, a promotion, a relationship, buying a home, because you believe it will bring you safety and security. Fear alerts and ignites us. This warning flare is useful, as we discussed. Fear points out problems and sometimes motivates us. For instance, the fear of getting fired may motivate you to get organized. The problem with fear is that it's not sustainable. When we operate in fear for a long time, we can't work to the best of our abilities. We are too worried about getting the wrong result. We become frantic or paralyzed and are unable to evaluate our situations objectively or to take risk. The Maya of success. The second motivation is desire. This is when we chase personal gratification. Our path to adventures, pleasures, and comforts often takes the form of material goals. I want $1 million home. I want financial freedom. I want an amazing wedding. When I ask people to write down their goals, they often give answers describing what most people think of as success. Okay? What most people think of as success. We think that success equals happiness. But this idea is an illusion. All right, I'm gonna look at a little back itch. Okay. But this idea is an illusion. The Sanskrit word for illusion is Maya, which means believing in that which is not. Okay. When we let achievements and acquisitions determine our course, we're living in the illusion that happiness comes from external measures of success. But all too often, we find that when we finally get what we want, when we find success, it doesn't lead to happiness. Okay? So all I can think about with this is when you go to school, you get into some of these career jobs, you get these degrees, and that equals success in our society. Degrees equal success. And a lot of times when you get to where you want it to go, you still not happy. And why? Because you still being controlled. You still being told when to do, when to go, when to come, punching the clock. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff. So that's what I think about when he say this part, right? A lot of people like to add on to themselves from the outside. Like they want to get all these degrees. They want to get all this. And that is what is driving their self-worth. That is what makes them who they are, makes them feel valuable. You know what I'm saying? So that is the least of who we are and what we are. Okay, that is the least of what we are. Jim Carrey once said, I think everybody should get rich and famous and do everything they ever dreamed of so they can see that it's not the answer. The illusion of success is tied not just to income and acquisitions, but to achievements like becoming a doctor or getting a promotion or memorizing the scriptures. My desire in the story above, to be able to recite every verse from the scripture, is the monk's version of material desire. Like all of these wants, my ambition was centered around an external outcome. Being as impressively learned as that other monk. American spiritual luminary Tara Brach, founder of the Insight Meditation Community of Washington, D.C., writes, as long as we keep attaching our happiness to the external events of our lives, which are ever changing, we'll always be left waiting for it. Okay? As long as we keep attaching our happiness, right? The only way we're going to be happy is if we get this, or when we get this, or when we do this, or when we do that, right? As long as we keep attaching our happiness to the external events of our lives, which are ever changing, we'll always be left waiting for it. Once, as a monk, I visited a temple in Srigram, one of the 3 major holy cities in South India. Okay, I probably butchered that name too, but that's okay. I came upon a worker high up on a scaffold applying gold powder to the intricate details on the temple's ceiling. I'd never seen anything like it, and I stopped to watch. As I gazed upward, a dusting of gold floated down into my eyes. I hurried from the temple to rinse my eyes, then returned, keeping a safe distance this time. This episode felt like a lesson torn from the scriptures. Gold dust is beautiful, but come too close and it will blur your vision. The glit that is used on temples isn't solid gold. It's mixed into a solution. And as we know, it is used to cover up stone, to make it look like solid gold. Okay, the queen had an MOC. Thank you, queen. To make it look like solid gold. It's mixed into a solution. And as we know, it is used to cover up stone and make it look like solid gold. It's Maya, an illusion. In the same way, money and fame are only a facade. Okay, money and fame alone will not make you happy, right? That's a facade. That's what it looks like on the TV screen. But that's not true. Because our search is never for a thing, but for the feeling we think the thing will give to us. We all know this already. We see wealthy and or famous people who seem to have it all, but who have bad relationships or suffer from depression. And it's obvious that success didn't bring them happiness. The same is true for those of us who aren't rich and famous. We quickly tire of our smartphones and want the next model. We receive a bonus, but the initial excitement fades surprisingly fast when our lives don't really improve. We think that a new phone or a bigger house will make us feel somehow better, right? Will it make you feel better or will it make you look better to others watching? That's what you have to decipher. We think that a new phone or a bigger house will make us feel somehow better, cooler, or more satisfied. But instead, find ourselves wanting more, right? And all I was thinking about right here when I was reading that is people who live outside their means. You know what I'm saying? Who you get a little more, so you do a little more. And the whole time you keep putting yourself in this bind because you're trying to keep up, right? So you never feeling the freedom of your growth, your money. Like if you start making more, but then you add more to your plate, then it feels like you're not making more, right? And why are you adding more to your plate? For a look most of the times, right? Material gratification is external, but happiness is internal, okay? When monks talk about happiness, they tell the story of the musk deer, a tale derived from a poem by Kabir, a 15th century Indian mystic and poet. The musk deer picks up an irresistible scent in the forest and chases it, searching for the source and not realizing that the scent comes from its own pores. It spends its whole life wandering fruitlessly. In the same way, we search for happiness, finding it elusive when it can be found within us, right? We don't need somebody to make us happy. We don't need something to make us happy. We have to find happiness within. And once we find happiness within, we can dish it out, right? We can give it out, right? We'll be able to be a source of other people's happiness as well, because we are happy, not because somebody made us happy. Because what if the thing making you happy leaves? Then are you sad, right? Are you broken? Happiness and fulfillment come only from mastering the mind and connecting with the soul, not from objects or attainments. Success doesn't guarantee happiness, and happiness doesn't require success. They can feed each other, and we can have them at the same time, but they are not intertwined. After analyzing a Gallup survey on well-being, Princeton University researchers officially concluded that money does not buy happiness after basic needs, and then some are fulfilled. While having more money contributes to overall life satisfaction, that impact levels off at a salary of around $75,000, right? And that's nothing. In other words, when it comes to the impact of money on how you view the quality of your life, a middle-class American citizen fares about as well as Jeff Bezos. Success is earning money, being respected in your work, executing projects smoothly, receiving accolades. Happiness is feeling good about yourself, having close relationships, making the world a better place. More than ever, popular culture celebrates the pursuit of success. TV shows aimed at adolescents focus more on image, money, and fame than in the past. Popular songs and books use language promoting individual achievement over community connection, group membership, and self-acceptance. Okay, so it's teaching our kids and our babies to be selfish, right? Not to unity, just me, right? And that's not how it goes. It's no surprise that happiness rates have consistently declined among American adults since the 1970s. And it doesn't just boil down to income. In an interview with the Washington Post, Jeffrey Sachs, director of the Center for Sustainable Development and an editor of World Happiness Report, points out, while the average income of people around the world definitely affects their sense of well-being, it doesn't explain all that much because other factors, both personal and social, are very important determinants of well-being. Sachs says that while generally American incomes have risen since 2005, our happiness has fallen, in part because of social factors like declining trust in the government and our fellow Americans and weaker social networks. Okay. Duty and love. If fear limits us and success doesn't satisfy us, then you've probably already guessed that duty and love have more to offer. We all have different goals, but we all want the same things: a life full of joy and meaning. Monks don't seek out the joy part. We aren't looking for happiness or pleasure. Instead, we focus on the satisfaction that comes from living a meaningful life. Happiness can be elusive. It's hard to sustain a high level of joy. But to feel meaning shows that our actions have purpose, right? To feel meaning shows that our actions have purpose. They lead to a worthwhile outcome. We believe we're leaving a positive imprint. What we do matters, so we matter. Bad things happen. Boring chores must get done. Life isn't all sunshine and unicorns, but it is always possible to find meaning. If you lose a loved one and someone tells you to look for the positive, to be happy, to focus on the good things in your life, well, you might want to punch that person. But we can survive the worst tragedies by looking for meaning in the loss. We might honor a loved one by giving to the community, or discover a new gratitude for life that we pass on to those who have supported us. Eventually, the value that we see in our actions will lead to a sense of meaning. In the Atharva Veda, it says, money and mansions are not the only wealth. Hoard the wealth of the spirit. Okay? Character is wealth. Good conduct is wealth. And spiritual wisdom is wealth. Okay? We wealthy in so many ways. What did it say yesterday? Time is wealth, right? When you're able to have that time to think, to meditate, to do, right? It's people who don't have time because they balancing 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs, right? They don't have time. They don't have time to clear their mind, to really think, to discern, to receive guidance from the source. They doing everything on their own will, right? Because they don't take that time to connect. Purpose and meaning, not success, lead to true contentment. When we understand this, we see the value of being motivated by duty and or love. When you act out of duty and love, you know that you are providing value. The more we upgrade from trying to fulfill our selfish needs to doing things out of service and love, the more we can achieve. In her book, The Upside of Stress, author Kelly McGonigal, or something like that, Kelly M. says that we can better handle discomfort when we can associate it with a goal, purpose, or person we care about. Okay? We can better handle discomfort when we can associate it with a goal, purpose, or person we care about. For example, when it comes to planning a child's birthday party, a parent might be more than willing to endure the unpleasantness of staying up late. The pain of lost sleep is offset by the satisfaction of being a loving mother. But when it comes to working late at a job that same woman hates, she is miserable. We can take on more when we're doing it for someone we love or to serve a purpose we believe in, rather than from the misguided idea that we will find happiness through success. Okay? When we perform work with the conviction that what we do matters, we can live intensely. Without a reason for moving forward, we have no drive. When we live intentionally with a clear sense of why what we do matters, life has meaning and brings fulfillment. Intention fills the car with gas. Okay? Intention fills the car with gas. I'm sorry. All right, I'm gonna keep going. The why ladder. Fear, desire, duty, and love are the roots of all intentions. In Sanskrit, the word for intention is sankalpa. And I think of it as the reason formed by one's own heart and mind that one strives for a goal. He said, and I think of it as the reason formed by one's own heart and mind that one strives for a goal. To put it another way, from your root motivation, you develop intentions to drive you forward. Okay? From your root motivation, you develop intentions to drive you forward. Your intention is who you plan to be in order to act with purpose and feel that what you do is meaningful. Okay? Your intention is who you plan to be in order to act with purpose and feel that what you do is meaningful. Okay? It makes me feel very purposeful every single day to be in control of my emotions, right? Be in control of the energy that I'm putting out. That makes me feel like I have meaning, like I have purpose, because I know that I am actively exercising my co-creative abilities, right? I'm actively exercising and doing what I can do, right? On the spiritual side, the things that I can do to help move things along, to help this spiritual side of success work for me, right? Your intention is who you plan to be in order to act with purpose and feel that what you do is meaningful. So if I'm motivated by fear, my intention might be to protect my family. If I'm motivated by desire, my intention might be to gain worldwide recognition. If I'm motivated by duty, my intention might be to help my friends no matter how busy I am. If I'm motivated by love, my intention might be to serve where I am most needed. There are no rules attaching certain intentions to certain motivations. You can also perform service to make a good impression, desire, not love. You can support your family out of love, not fear. You can want to get rich in order to serve. And none of us has just one motivation and one intention. Okay? None of us has just one. I want us to learn how to make big and small choices intentionally. Instead of forever climbing the mountain of success, we need to descend into the valley of our true selves to weed out false beliefs. To live intentionally, we must dig to the deepest why behind the want. Okay? To live intentionally, we must dig to the deepest why behind the want. This requires pausing to think not only about why we want something, but also who we are or need to be to get it, and whether being that person appeals to us. Okay? This requires pausing to think not only why we want something, but also who we are or need to be to get it, right? And whether being that person appeals to us. So who do you need to become, right? What type of person do you need to become to receive the things that you desire? Most people are accustomed to looking for answers. Monks focus on questions. When I was trying to get close to my fear, I asked myself, what am I afraid of? Over and over again. When I'm trying to get to the root of a desire, I start with the question, why? This monkish approach to intention can be applied to even the worldliest goals. Here's a sample goal I've chosen because it's something we never would have contemplated in the ashram, and because the intention behind it isn't obvious. I want to sail solo around the world. Why do you want to sail around the world? It will be fun. I'll get to see lots of places and prove to myself that I'm a great sailor. It sounds like your intention is to gratify yourself and that you are motivated by desire. But what if your answer to the question is, it was always my father's dream to sail around the world. I'm doing it for him. In this case, your intention is to honor your father, and you are motivated by duty and love. I'm sailing around the world so I can be free. I won't be accountable to anyone. I can leave all my responsibilities behind. This sailor intends to escape. He is driven by fear. Now let's look at a more common want. My biggest want is money. And here's Jay, probably about to tell me to become kind and compassionate. That's not going to help. Wanting to be rich for the sake of being rich is fine. It's firmly in the category of material gratification. So you can't expect it to give an internal sense of fulfillment. Okay? You can't expect it to give an internal sense of fulfillment. Nonetheless, material comforts are undeniably part of what we want from life. So let's get to the root of this goal rather than just dismissing it. Wealth is your desired outcome. Why? I don't ever want to have to worry about money again. Why do you worry about money? I can't afford to take the vacations I dream about. Why do you want those vacations? I see everyone else on exotic trips on social media. Why should they get to do that when I can't? Why do you want what they want? They're having much more fun than I have on my weekends. Aha. So now we are at the root of the want. Your weekends are unfulfilling. What's missing? I want my life to be more exciting, more adventurous, more exhilarating. Okay, your intention is to make your life more exciting. Notice how different that is from I want money. Your intention is still driven by the desire for personal gratification, but now you know two things. First, you can add more adventure to your life right now without spending more money. And second, you now have the clarity to decide if that's something you want to work hard for. If a person went up to my teacher and said, I just want to be rich, my teacher would ask, are you doing it out of service? His reason for asking would be to get to the root of the desire. If the man said, no, I want to live in a nice house, travel, and buy whatever I want, his intention would be to have the financial freedom to indulge himself. My teacher would say, okay, it's good that you're honest with yourself. Go ahead, make your fortune. You'll come to service anyway. It may take you 5 or 10 years, but you'll get the same answer. Monks believe that the man won't be fulfilled when he finds his fortune, and that if he continues his search for meaning, the answer will always eventually be found in service. Be honest about what your intention is. The worst thing you can do is pretend to yourself that you're acting out of service when all you want is material success. When you follow the whys, keep digging. Every answer provokes deeper questions. Sometimes it helps to sit with a question in the back of your mind for a day, even a week. Very often you'll find that what you are ultimately searching for is an internal feeling, happiness, security, confidence, etc. Or maybe you'll find that you're acting out of envy, not the most positive emotion, but a good alert to the need you are trying to fill. Be curious about that discovery. Why are you envious? Is there something like adventure that you can start working on right away? Once you're doing that, the external wants will be more available to you if they still matter at all. Okay? So I'm going to read the try this, and we are going to wrap it up for the day. Stopping on page 75, okay? And we'll finish tomorrow, chapter 4. But this try this, our action step, okay? A question meditation. Take a desire you have and ask yourself why you want it. Keep asking until you get to the root intention. Common answers are to look and feel good, security, service, growth. Don't negate intentions that aren't good. Just be aware of them and recognize that if your reason isn't love, growth, or knowledge, the opportunity may fulfill important practical needs, but it won't feel emotionally meaningful. We're most satisfied when we are in a state of progress, learning, or achievement. Okay? So that's it, family. So yes, during your meditation today, ask yourself why you want what you want, right? Get to the root of the things you want, your intentions. I'm having internet issues. I'm losing my signal. We'll have to watch the recording. Have a super fantastic, blessed day. See you, Queen. We actually finished up. We finished right now. So this was perfect time. And you can definitely go back and watch the recording on YouTube, I Coach Wealth. But I appreciate you. Thanks for joining me today. But yeah, y'all, intention. We have to, it is much smoother when we live with intention, when we intentional about everything. And I done told y'all before, like I was living so unintentionally. Like I was doing and I was living and I was achieving, but I wasn't thinking, like I wasn't truly thinking about the why behind all the things that I wanted and all of the things that I was doing. You know what I'm saying? I was just doing kind of what I was told to do. It was literally like a program kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like you just doing what you programmed to do, what you told to do. And it's so much better when you living with intention, when you actually thinking about the things you're doing, when you are finding meaning, true meaning in the things that you are doing. Like this right here, this book club is my purpose. It gives me meaningful, fulfilling feelings, right? When I get off of here, I'm pumped, I'm excited, I'm grateful. It's good. So yeah, family, that's it for today. Thank y'all so much for joining in on the read today. Protect your energy today. Protect your peace today. Be a light today. Be kind today. Fill your cup so you can overflow onto others, okay? Avoid energy vampires. Avoid environments that drain your energy, okay? I am your sister in love. I am your sister in light. I appreciate y'all, and we'll be right back in the morning finishing up chapter 4, which is intention, okay? Have a blessed day, and I'll see y'all in the morning.